Welcome to SSS30 number 30. My name is Jem Johnson. I'm running some awesome self-defense and sparring classes out of the warehouse, which is why they call me the Sunday Sensei, because we do these sessions every Sunday afternoon. And today, I'm going to talk a little bit about training cycles and how everything comes in waves, okay? I have learned from a lifetime of fitness that everything comes in cycles. We go up and down with our training. And the important thing is to keep things fresh. I used to be one of those guys who always does the same workout. You know, I had an hour-long run that I did every week, and that was my thing. I had to go for my 1 hour run. And that's awesome. I'm all for that. I advocate that. But you get to a point where an hour-long run no longer gives you the fitness benefits you used to. You become used to it. You become good at it. It becomes the status quo. Same thing with weights training. I know heaps of people who have done the same program, the same weights, maybe even, the exact same resistance for ages. They've been lifting the same weights in the same way, maybe for years. And this is bad. It creates stagnation. And in my experience, it leads to you resenting your training, resenting the exercises that you're doing. And that's not good at all. You need to keep things fresh. So here is my advice for you. Train in cycles and train according to the seasons. What has always worked for me is to lift really heavy weights and be really strong in the colder months. And then in the warmer months, I tend to do more cardio, and I tend to do more sort of interesting hybrid training and all sorts of different things. You know, I'm a bit crazy in turbo and I'm a generalist and I try heaps of different stuff. But in winter, I lift heavy, and in summer, I get my heart rate up. Different kinds of training. Keeps you fresh, keeps you firing, keeps your mind active, because the body is the mind is the body. Here's where we get philosophical. If you're always doing the same workout, it tends to make you a bit weaker in the long run. If you're always thinking on the same thought patterns, it tends to make you, in my opinion, a bit stupider in the long run. We're always going down the same paths. You've got to keep your mind fresh. You've got to keep things engaging. You've got to always be changing. The goal with health and fitness is to always be a little bit better than yesterday, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, a little bit greater than you were. Yeah, my very first concept when I started PTing was to build better humans. That's what I was all about. I wanted to build a better version of ourselves, yeah? And we do that by always changing, by always mixing it up. So, it could be little, yeah? Here's some actionable content. Say you always go for a run, and that's your thing, but you always run at the same sort of speed and the same sort of distance. Try interval training. Just give it a go for a month. See what effect it has on different kinds of fitness, different kinds of running. So instead of just running long, slow distance, you do sprints. You do like a short sprint, maybe for 30 seconds, and then you jog it off for a while until you get your breath back, and then you repeat. Interval training to mix things up. If you always lift barbells, that's your thing. You go to the gym and you bench press and you squat. Awesome, fantastic, but try a new toy. Try messing around with kettlebells, for example. Kettlebells are awesome, and they're a really good way to jumpstart your training and sort of trick your muscles, if you will, into learning new movement patterns and growing stronger. Now, guess what? It's true for exercise, it's true for nutrition as well, always. The two go hand in hand. So you may find that if you've been eating the same way and going along a diet for a little while, and you've gotten some good results, that's awesome, but then of course you plateau. Everybody plateaus, it's inevitable. So if you're eating in a certain way and you find that you've lost weight, but then suddenly you stop losing weight, that's cool, it's to be expected, it all makes sense, but it's time to shift things, it's time to mix things up. So have a look at everything that you're eating and consider substituting something, yeah? If it's pretty good, but you've got one thing like, I don't know, coffee or chocolate, or there's some habit there, then shift that habit. Quick coffee, replace it with a herbal beverage. That's my go-to advice. Drink more water. You know, if everything is good and you've got what appears to be the perfect diet, awesome, but maybe you're missing something that you're not aware of, yeah? Look at all the categories and say, right, am I eating fish? Am I consuming nuts and legumes? Am I eating fruit and veggies every day? Add something new or take something away. The important thing is a little shift, just a little tweak. Because here's the thing, everything happens up and down in waves and cycles, and we need to learn to listen to our bodies, become very aware of your body, know what it's looking for. If you're bored and you're not seeing the results you want, you need to shift things, you need to mix things up. Listen to your body in accordance with the seasons. Whenever it is cold, whenever the weather changes, we instinctively try to sort of hide and get out of the cold and do more stuff indoors, and we tend to eat worse food, don't we? So listen to your body and know what it's looking for and say to yourself, right, okay, this winter, I'm going to mix things up a bit. We spoke about this in previous videos, you know, how do you train through winter? Well, I've given you some actionable content about how to do that. You need to find yourself an indoor facility like, you know, the Warehouse West Melbourne, a great place to train. And what you need to do is try a new thing. Try something that you haven't done in a while. Because if your training gets stagnant, you're going to start to resent what you're doing. And that, the body is the mind is the body. So if you resent your training, you may start to sort of hate on yourself for doing all this. You know, why am I always going for this hour-long run? Why am I always lifting this weight that I always lift? Start to question yourself, start to doubt yourself, start to dislike the training you're doing, and therefore you dislike the person you are because of the training that you're doing. This is really negative. We need to stamp out negativity. So, the lesson of the day is train according to what your body is telling you. Be intuitive, listen to your gut feeling and listen to what your body is saying. Mix things up and try different things. Do the same thing with your nutrition, and I bet you'll see better results. Good, done. Next.